Hello ladies. Great to see you all today. Today I want to take you through a little bit of the top mastermind masterclass on energy management. And I think it's something that most of us can use to some extent. And I would like to start by asking you a question. And that question is, have you ever considered yourself to be an athlete?
Yes. Be a what?
An athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Because most people, when I ask that question, like, no, not really. Yes. But as high achieving women, managing deadlines, decisions, everyone's expectations, you are an athlete, a brain athlete, right? Every day we spend hours thinking, planning, performing under pressure, but unlike physical athletes, we tend to skip over the most important part of performance: rest, recovery, managing our boundaries. Because this is the truth. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity and a strategy for sustainable performance. We don't burn out because we don't care. We burn out because we care too much for too long without recharging. I know this all too well. I've been there myself. At just 31, I found myself completely burned out and depleted. And that experience led me to study what true sustainable performance looks like and how to rebuild it from the inside out. And today, as a holistic burnout prevention leader, speaker, and founder of Reclaim Your Control, I help ambitious women who might feel the pull of burnout to reclaim the control of their time, their energy, and their clarity, so they can thrive without burning out. So today, I want to very briefly share with you the first 2 steps of my award-winning 5-step focus framework. And those 2 first steps are all about energy management. So, just very briefly, I want to take you into step 1, which is about finding and eliminating your hidden energy barriers. And as women especially, but it goes for all people, we spend most of our energy not on the daily tasks that we actually perform. We spend about 90% of our daily energy up here. Our thoughts, overthinking, worrying, that all takes up so much energy on a daily basis. And one tool that I find very helpful in making this kind of invisible use of energy more visible is the circle of control. Maybe some of you are familiar with the concept. It's also there in the handout if you want to have a quick look at it. It's a very simple but very effective tool. So the circle of control consists of 3 circles, and it starts with the smallest inner circle. And that is your actual circle of control. So this is where everything that is in your control falls. And that is what you intend, what you say, what you do. Also your goals and values fall in your control. But then around that is already a little bit of a bigger circle, and that's called the circle of influence. So this is not in your full control anymore, but you might have some influence on it. And this is where our thoughts fall. Let's see this. So our thoughts, we can't fully control them. They just pop up, right? But we can influence them to a certain extent. And also what people close to us say and do. We might be able to influence it to some extent, but we can never fully control it. And then the 3rd circle is the biggest one, and that's the circle of no control. And this is where everything regarding other people falls, basically. What other people say, do, and think. It's not in our control, and it's often not even in our influence. Our past and our future. We might have some influence based on what we do today that might happen in the future, but we can never control or influence the entire future. And finally, our circumstances. The weather, the news. Those are all things that we have no influence or control over. So once we learn to work with this tool, the way I like to do it is I like to encourage people, women, to take about 10 minutes each day, usually before you go to bed, because otherwise your mind will start processing anyway during the night. So it's helpful to do it before you go to bed. Take about 10 minutes and take one thing in mind that has had you occupied. Something that's been on your mind, something that is important to you in that moment. And start going through the circle of control and see what part of that is actually in your control. So what really belongs to you there. And what's the part of that situation that you cannot control? It's just not yours to carry. Right? And when we make that more visible, we can then take an active decision. We can say, okay, based on this, I now actively decide to take a specific action based on what I can control, and or for the part that I just have no control over, I actively decide to let that go. Now, is it that simple? Does that mean it's gone? No, not necessarily. Your thoughts will still pop up. But you can tell your mind, you can say, hey, listen, we've gone through this. I know this is not in my control. There's nothing I can really do about it. So I'm actively deciding to let go. You can repeat that to yourself. Right? Now, this is a very simplified version that I'm sharing with you right now, but it's one tool that can be helpful to start managing your energy and your energy drainers specifically. So that's step one. Then step two is to start optimizing your energy providers. So what actually brings you energy, right? There we can think short-term and long-term. And for short-term, I've created this kind of like emergency toolkit that can be applied in situations of immediate stress or overwhelm. So whenever we find ourselves in a situation where we go, okay, that's a lot, we can kind of come to these 3 steps that might help in that particular moment. And the first one is, whenever you can, physically remove yourself from the situation. So just step out for a sec. Go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, go to wherever. If you're surrounded by other people, you can say, listen, I just need to step out for a sec, and you come back later. But just physically removing yourself is really the first way to protect yourself from that overwhelm creeping in. The second thing that you can use along with that is your breath. And oftentimes we're told to, okay, just take a deep breath in, but actually it's taking the deep breath out. So yes, take a deep breath in, but then make sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale. And what happens when you do that is basically a sigh, right? And when we feel stressed or overwhelmed, we tend to carry all of that energy up here. We really go like, rolling it up here. But if we can exhale, that energy is allowed to flow back down, right? And you can even imagine it going all the way into the earth. So just give whatever doesn't suit you, just give it all the way into the earth. And you can kind of feel that energy start to move down and instantly calm your body system, your nervous system. So that's the second thing. The third thing, and this has been an absolute lifesaver for me, and I fought it at the start because I felt like it wasn't cool enough, I guess. Go for a walk if you can. I was a runner, I didn't walk. I wanted to run, but now I'm a convert, I walk, right? So even if it's just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if you can during lunchtime or whatever, just step outside. And the daylight, the fresh air, the movement all help to kind of let whatever has been up here flow down a little bit, right? So those are kind of like the 3 steps that are part of that short-term emergency toolkit. But then long-term, we can also look at 3 levels of how we want to help ourselves build up more energy again. The physical level, the mental level, and the social, emotional, or spiritual level, however you want to see it. So physical, we talk about nutrition, right? What actually gives us energy physically? Proper nutrition. Fast food, unfortunately, not part of that. It's really draining. The second one is movement. So again, maybe the walk. It doesn't have to be strenuous exercise, just making sure you move your body, stretch already helps to let that energy flow again as well. And the third one is rest. The physical body also needs rest. So if we can sleep, perfect. If we have trouble sleeping, rest. Rest is okay as well. You don't have to sleep, right? Second level, mental, and it's kind of the same 3 things. So nutrition. What do you feed your mind? And here we have a lot of processed foods around us, right? So if we start doom scrolling on social media, watching the news, I have found to be a huge energy drainer for myself. So kind of starting to see like what is it that drains my mental energy, and see if you can replace that with more energy givers for you mentally. So where do you feel inspired? Where do you feel that it actually leaves you uplifted? The second one is movement, mental movement. So how do you make sure that we don't get stuck in those thoughts, in that cycle of worrying and overthinking? Well, part of it is again the physical movement, because that helps to create the mental movement as well. And learning to recognize when you do get stuck in that thinking and actively say, listen, no, I'm going to do something different now, so that you don't get mentally stuck in your habit. And the third one there is also rest, mental rest. And this, technically we all need this in little doses during the day. Because if we go an entire day up until we go to bed, our brain is going to be overloaded and we're not going to sleep well. That's the reality. So if we can build in even just 5 minutes, like little pauses where we don't give our brain more input, but just let it process what's already happened so far. Maybe have your lunch without having a conversation or without doing something else. So little moments like that can really be helpful. Third level, social, emotional / spiritual, and this is all about connection. So connecting to yourself, find activities where you feel that it connects with you. So maybe it's art, maybe it's sports, maybe it's surrounding yourself by nature. So that's for yourself. Connecting to others, and actually connecting to others without the phone, without the very brief interactions that we have. And the third one is that connecting to life, right? So that's kind of like the spiritual aspect. But it can be very down to earth. Just acknowledging that life is happening for you and not against you. That the earth is here literally carrying you. It's not trying to let you trip or fall. Right? Just that recognition can already give you that little bit of energy and support. That's needed. So, by nurturing these 3 energy levels consistently, you build resilience and you start creating sustainable performance. Because managing your energy means managing your power. And it's by reclaiming your time that you can also reclaim your energy and without sacrificing your drive or your well-being. So, at Reclaim Your Control, I offer one-on-one coaching to high-achieving women, women leaders who want support in doing this. I also offer interactive workshops for companies and communities who want to support their employees in this as well. So if this mission resonates with you, or if you feel that you could use some support in breaking through your energy barriers, then let's connect. I'm very happy to have a conversation about this. I can talk about this forever. I won't. And let's see how you can start reclaiming control of your time and your energy. Because remember, you are already an athlete, so start treating yourself as the athlete you truly are and learn to thrive on your terms.